Hey everyone, I initially thought about making channel update and Q&A as a one video. However, when I started putting things into editor, I just noticed that it's going to get way too long. So please don't be surprised when I start speaking about parts of video with referring to the Q&A. It's normal, it just was part of what I did originally. So the channel update section, we can start by a very obvious metric is that we hit 20,000 subscribers. And again, I am very grateful that you are saying thanks to me, but it is important that you remember and understand that this is also your channel. You're doing a lot more important job than I am doing, because I'm doing pretty much anything that any other video creator does, which is just making videos and writing texts and discussing the events and etc, etc, etc. The more harder job that is completely out of control is essentially what you're doing, is sharing that video, not being, discouraged by it, promoting the channel, liking, subscribing. It's very small things, but it adds up really quickly. So for example, last month I started asking you, hey, can you share or like this video and so on, and look, a whole month and we doubled in the size. So that is a very huge effort, and I think the actual also thanks, I'm receiving all of your thanks obviously, but a lot of thanks should also extend to yourself. So please tap yourself on the shoulder. You are also participating in the channel growth very significantly. Secondly, I want to talk about the Patreon and membership schemes that we have for YouTube and Patreon, and I think I failed completely. I really wanted to kind of make it a little bit something, but I cycled ideas, I did tests here and there, and it just didn't feel right. So I think I will try to find someone next month. So my previous month's targets, whatever I did, completely failed. I am very sorry for that, and I need to definitely state it as it is. So we'll need to find someone that maybe have an experience in setting up Patreons and membership schemes, so then we make it interesting and fun for you to participate. I am very grateful for all the people that are sticking with it nonetheless. This is fine. Patreon submitted a very interesting notification to me yesterday saying that they're offering the new membership kind of payment system where you are paying once per month, and wasn't it the same before? So as I never been a proper subscriber to Patreon before, so I never knew how it works. So if you noticed any changes in your Patreon subscription membership plans, I don't know what happened. I just got notification on that, so not something I changed on my end. Then let's talk about the important part, the video content. So I think the first things first is that I'm very happy how the update videos are going. I think the structure that we found is working quite well. I think we are doing very, very excellent separation between where we do the map updates, because I know that there are people that really want just the map updates. They really just want to see where the arrows are pointing this month or this week or this day. And then there are people who want to find out a little bit more context. And this actually follows well with also how I see the picture and so on. So as I say, for me, it is interesting to talk about the situation. Yes, giving an update to the war, but not giving it to the tactical level where we discuss every single settlement taken. I think what is important to know is what is the dynamics and war-changing developments that are happening on the battle lines, rather than knowing that there is some phone booth that's been taken by one side and not by the other. In that sense, then there's plenty of channels that do matter, for whom this does matter, and I very much advise you to subscribe to them. Someone said a very good comparison that we, the Ukrainian-based YouTube channels, are not really competitors in this effort. We are more of a part of a team, and this is how I see it. So that's why I feel absolutely no problems recommending any other channel that is describing the war in Ukraine and not drawing its sources from Russian propaganda or being actively promoting Russian viewed positions. In that sense, I think everything helps. So then the second part is something that maybe why I like doing YouTube, why I keep coming back, because one of the things that I always heard about YouTube and creators is that, well, like the comment section is completely horrendous. It's atrocious. And as I started channel, I was like, okay, maybe like my channel is just too small, so I'm not getting all of these shitty comments yet. But like as soon as I get like 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 subscribers, that is when it's gonna happen. That is when the people are gonna start like speaking complete nonsense, trash talking, like, and so on. But it never happens. Every time I make a video, and then especially around the second part of the video where I kind of share my opinions, and I'm also explicitly stating a lot of those are my opinions, whereas some of those are obviously based in the expert analysis, but it is still kind of my position and opinion on things. And as I'm a big promoter of democracy, I am really appreciative when you're sharing your opinions, and I encourage everyone to share their opinions in the comment section. That is very helpful, and I think that kind of discussion is super good. And I love reading a lot of those comments. Like maybe not always I'm able to read every single one of them at right at the time when it's posted, but I definitely go through the videos back and I read what kind of new comments people are adding. So even if you don't see a like or something, that doesn't mean that I have not read it. Most of the time, maybe I'm reading it like on my way from lunch break or something during work. So it's very helpful, and I'm taking in a lot of your positions, and they are shaping how I see this conflict as well. So don't stop. Please continue posting, and I'm very happy what kind of a communication we are having in our videos. It's very, 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 very actually high level. Like the comments are always expanded. For the most part, if someone has something like some statement to make, the statement is always expanded. So it's not like something, oh, it's just shit or bad. It's like that's it. And then obviously the second part of comments, which is the biggest support for Ukraine, that is always appreciated. Never stop that. Always post that you're supporting Ukrainian effort. Then we also dipped in our toes in a more researched videos. I didn't know how it's gonna go. Like I didn't know if it's gonna pay out at all. This Russia, why the Russian army is shit video, because I wanted to make a video where essentially my channel is based around talking things about simply, because I'm a layman. For me, war is not something that I studied for years and years and years and years, and I'm kind of starting to understand it from this layman perspective. And I see that a lot of people are also, like majority of people are not military people. So they are having troubles as me, the same troubles as I had, trying to understand this. That's why I'm trying to kind of make it as simple and in a very natural, human level discussion about what's the situation, why certain things are the certain way they are. And especially when we're talking about Russia, we had a very, very twisted perspective, if anything, as shown by how the politics were built towards Russia. If on the highest level our politicians were able to completely misjudge Vladimir Putin's regime, then that it's completely normal, and we shouldn't beat ourselves too much for us to misjudge Russian people, Russian population, Russian culture. Because while I'm coming obviously from Latvia, and I had a direct involvement with a lot of the Russians, and I felt the culture, what they're having right from when I was younger, then for a lot of people here in the Western side of the world, it is not as clear. And that's why I'm very happy that I'm able in simple terms to slowly and explain certain aspects. And that's why I'm saying ask questions, write comments, because then I know what to talk about, what are still unclear about this. And we're going to go over it again and again and again. And I'm really happy to cover that with some kind of my own opinion, obviously, but I'm stating that quite openly. Then I think there's going to be more research videos. I already noted you that we're going to be doing one with Starsky about why Ukrainian army. I think it's a very marvelous change that Ukrainian army did from 2014 to 2022. And now it's becoming basically the most capable army in Europe. And especially because it's mobilized, it's also one of the largest, it's the largest army in Europe by this point. And I'm pretty sure by the middle end of this conflict, it's also gonna get one of the most capable in a sense of how much stuff it has. So very good stuff. I'm also becoming better with editing. I'm learning new techniques and how things work with the software, so that's very good. And I'm very happy on how it's developing. With regards to streaming, I'm planning to do it once every 2 weeks on Sundays. Hopefully this is something we agreed with my wife, so I have some time until we maybe move to a bigger house or something. But before that, also there might be streams, like for example, there's going to be additional stream this week, or there might be a stream where I'm getting invited for some kind of interview or something, and then that's obviously going to be adding to that number of streams per month that we're going to be having. So the aim is about 2 streams per month, once every 2 weeks on Sundays. That is a rough estimate, and so far I think that's a very good and healthy ratio. I would love to stream more, but stream is kind of very effort-taking, and it requires a lot of dedication, and it's interrupting a lot more than just having a short video recorded like this, and then maybe basically the life is going on as normally in the apartment while I'm just editing stuff. Then we should be talking about the fact that, yeah, interviews, some people said, when are you going to interview with this guy? When are you going to talk with this guy? When are you going to talk with this guy? I really wanted to make interviews, but unfortunately or fortunately, I'm getting essentially a promotion at my job, and that means I will have even more tasks on my hand. So that will also mean that I'm gonna have even less time than I had before to dedicate to YouTube. That doesn't mean that I will not make those videos that I promised. Yes, streams once every 2 weeks. Yes, videos. I'm gonna probably, the schedule will be once every 1 or 2 days. So like every second day, basically a video, hopefully. So 3 videos a week, roughly. But we'll see. So the important part is that, and if I'm also making the unscheduled research video, because I also need to spend time some researching and making the longer effort, so that will also take the time. So I will be working as much as I can. I'm just saying that the working time that I had for my job is going to be a lot more harder to find a free moment in it. Then with regards to other video formats, it's the same thing. So interviews, but then you also added that there might be some other formats, like I can do research, like travel, whatever. I don't have time for that, sorry. I need to focus on what I can deliver. Otherwise, it's a little bit dishonest for me to promise something that I can never deliver in a good enough quality. A very good question came up about the fact that we need to build some kind of community. People have been asking, can you make a Discord? Can you make some place where we can share information? And I know that some people have even found the Telegram channel that I was trying to make when I was deciding between the Telegram and Twitter. But the point is, again, I don't really have the time for it. And the last stream showed that we also need moderators. So I think it's time for us to build some kind of community. So here is my call to you to talk about, let's reach out, let's have a discussion about how do we want to start a community here. Write in comments maybe who wants to be part of the Discord, the startup, or if it's not a Discord and something else. Provide your options. Let's see what talk about, and if you have the desire to make essentially fun-based community service, I would be very happy to promote it. And that's about it on the channel update. So very, very good news. I am not stopping. I'm gonna be doing the same thing as I've been doing. Now we're having a little bit more structure. The schedule is gonna be 1 video every couple of days, streams every other 2 weeks, sometimes research videos, and maybe interviews if other people will invite me. That is it. Thank you so much for watching me. Continue watching, continue sharing, promoting. I love you all, guys. See you next time.